Hello, welcome back to another Pen Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for jumping on board and following me on my journey in the world of pens. This pen I gave a ranking of 10 to because I thought it was the most amazing pen that I've experienced in my period of rating pens. But I think it's always good to accompany a pen with some interesting artwork. In perusing on Etsy, I came across this artist. It's always nice to get a little bit of a thank you note. And we'll put a link to the artist in the description up above. It does interesting work. So now I have a bit of artwork to use as a reference for my second PenBBS 492, the year 2020, year of the rat. So this is not going to be a full review. I'll give you a link to my original review, which was more of a full review. But just to reiterate, this is a very high upscale box, very sturdy. You lift off the cover, fits very nicely. You see that beautiful ink bottle with a very reminiscent piece of artwork on top under that pearlized cap. Looks like that extended tail is pretty much a symbol for this artistic designed rat. Nice foam insert to protect the pen. The pen is equally retained by this nice red strap, kind of an interesting, contrasting color. Comes in a plastic sleeve with a unique number on it, which is a 3-digit number, and it's 323, a pen that I very much like. This pen is as good visually, build-wise, construction-wise as my original one. And again, there's lots of designs. It just looks interesting on every aspect. Yeah, they've labeled everything. So there's no confusing what this pen is. They're able to engrave the number 323 on the butt of the rat. Very well done. I was concerned about how they were going to fit 3 digits on that small rat, but they were able to do it quite well. Their engraving tools are pretty precise. So I have 97 and 323. There's been a little bit of discussion about how to use this magnetic filling system. So let me demonstrate on this new pen. So you unscrew the cap, and there's a very, very strong magnet in the top of the cap here, which connects to the magnet that's right above the piston. So what I do is I turn the barrel, and the piston is turning, and then that frees it up to be able to move it up more easily than if you just try to attach the magnet and pull it up. And if you turn the barrel as you try to move the piston with the magnet, it moves smoother if you do the turning. If you just try to yank it up, as you can see, it'll sometimes not go up cleanly. The magnet loses a connection with the piston, but just turning it makes it work much easier. It's my tip about filling the 492. I didn't take my other one apart. This one I'm going to take apart and look more closely at those individual pieces. I've mentioned that I flush every pen that I get, new, old. And this is a soapy solution with a touch of ammonia in it. Pretty much make your own pen flush. And I would say this has a pretty good flow to it. And that really cleans it out. I'm also going to see if I can pull the nib and feed out after I've got a lot of soapy water solution in there, which should hopefully facilitate removing it. Doesn't always come out. Let's give it a shot. The pen disassembles very easily. which is among the many things that I would give PenBBS credit for, is all of their pens are very easy to maintain. The parts are done very well. They fit together very well. So let's just take a look at these a little bit closer up. This is that classic sword clip. I'd call it a Gen 2 clip. We flip it around, we'll see that the ring is riveted to the clip. And this is one piece. I talked about it earlier. If you look at some of the clips designed like this, the little bulge at the end is just a folded over piece of metal. I like this fact that this is a solid piece of metal. The magnet is incredibly strong. And if you're around something that's magnetic, this magnet is definitely going to pick it up. So this is a sealed piece. The magnet might be able to come out of there, but I can't imagine why you'd want to do that. You know, magnets have a very long lifetime, the well-done magnets. Clarity is excellent. The threading is excellent. There's a little notch for the clip to fit into. You know, and it puts the tension on the clip and makes it a spring-loaded clip. You know, this band at the bottom is just done extremely well. Look at how well it's engraved, etched, stamped, however they did it. And that notch, just a nice little design touch. The barrel now has nothing in it. Yeah, that's where the rat is screwed into here. To me, the piston is a phenomenal design. So there's a replaceable O-ring here at the bottom. And if you've gotten your pack of parts, there's a ton of O-rings in here that can be used. So if that O-ring wears out, it's easy to replace. And it just easily pushes out through the bottom of the barrel. You can use the magnet to do that. You don't need to take the top open. That magnet is screwed in place. There's a thread. Again, nice engraving. Just an attention to detail is phenomenal, especially with a pen of this price point. It is the most expensive PenBBS pen, but for what it is, it's definitely a bargain. As you can see, that magnet immediately attracted the end there. I could not pull out the nib and feed from the collar, but going back, that's why I buy this, so I get a bunch of extra collars so I can install other nibs and collars, and when I want to change nibs, I just unscrew and screw in, and makes it easy to swap. It looks great. The two O-rings there, these are easy to lose. Another reason why you want your pack of parts. And this section here, which has that O-ring there, looks like that same O-ring could be the same one that's used in the piston, the magnetic piston. Again, the clarity is excellent. The machining is excellent. No extra burrs, no sharp edges. It's just extremely well done. So hopefully that allows you to see this pen in its design, engineering, and construction expertise. Quality-wise, it's just phenomenal, and it's why I gave it a 10. So here's the 323 fully assembled. You have to be careful when you take this apart. I don't recommend people taking it apart unless they really feel comfortable doing that. These magnets are very strong and parts fly around, and putting the cap finial back in takes a little bit of alignment that you have to be very careful about. You can see that huge distance, so you can put a big nib in there without an issue. I also silicone greased every thread. It just seals things up a little bit, makes it easier when you're gonna, if you need to take it apart again. And even with silicone grease on that piston, I still have to turn it to get it to move freely. It's a very tight fit, which is what you would need, because this does draw up almost like 80% of the ink. So it's a very efficient filling system, and it does move quite well now. One of my viewers said that ink got past that piston ring, so hopefully this video will help him decide whether he wants to take it apart, replace that O-ring, or maybe just reseat it or put silicone grease on it, whatever might be appropriate. So I think we just need to end with a little bit of a writing from the original one I have inked up. So I'll give you a quick writing sample with my original 492, which has the same nib in as the second one. And that magnet is strong. You can see it really grip that coloring. I just fell in love with this ink. I had a sample of it, and then it took me a couple of years to find a full bottle, and I did. I just love that color. Very saturated ink, and it works well in this 492. My voice sound is going to be different because here's the mic to be near the nib. The cap comes off in under one turn, which is very nice, and this fits very well in the hand. That section is about as concave as I like. It's just wide enough to accommodate my 3 medium-sized fingers. The weight is nice. It's not heavy, as you might expect. It's not a pen to me to post, because that basically throws the balance off quite a bit. But you can write with it posted, and it does post fairly securely. Well, fairly securely, if that's what you want. So this nib, as soon as I wrote with it, it felt great. It just floats across the paper, and this is Fabriano paper with a decent amount of texture to it. This nib required absolutely no work whatsoever. I think this is, even though it's the same design with that little fude in it, I think this is a upgrade to the nibs that are normally in the PenBBS pens, which is what one might hope for and expect if the pen costs what it does. But considering all the components and the quality, I think that alone justifies the price. But then they put a great nib in it. I wish I could have gotten the medium one, but this fine one really lays down pretty much a medium line, and it is certainly wet enough for me. So I had rated this pen as a 10, and months later it's a 10 plus. And it checks all the boxes. This is just a joy to use. And I love it. And this Mandarin duck mail ink just works phenomenally well. Great combo. So hopefully you've enjoyed this little exploration of a 492. This one, the second one, I certainly was more comfortable taking apart. I didn't want to take the first one apart. I like to write with the pen as received before I start mucking with it. But in today's quarantined world, sometimes we need to do things to entertain ourselves, and sometimes just have to take a few chances within the confines of our abode. So reach the end of this video. Thank you for watching. And if you could like the video, if you could leave a comment. I've been exploring YouTube and how it works. Not a lot, because I like doing videos and I like publishing them and I like sharing them. So one viewer or thousands of viewers, I appreciate all of them equally. And I enjoy coming into your lives and hopefully giving you some insights and perspectives and some entertainment. And hopefully you can find a pen that you enjoy writing with, that brings a smile to your face, and maybe put some words on paper and send them to a friend, a colleague, an associate, a pen pal. Share those thoughts. Enjoy putting them on paper. Enjoy the feel of ink and nib and paper. And do what you need to do to survive and hopefully find some joy in this strange world that we now find ourselves in, that hopefully will at some point in time become a little bit more normalized. We've reached the end of this video. You can see after talking, this just starts up right away. I've never had any dry starts or any issues whatsoever writing with this pen. May you find a pen that you enjoy writing with. We're going to say bye until the next video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy. Bye.